Learners. I'm Ms Chanelle, Language Success Coach, and I am here to bring you the freemium version of the summary course. This is a fully online summary course, 20 videos, and I do a lot of work in terms of the basics and the details of summary, as well as diving into 4 separate articles and giving you good versions and not so impressive, definitely bad versions of summaries. All right, however, this is a freemium version and I'm going to still give you the core concepts that I teach in that course. All right, if you think at the end of this you're interested in the entire course, go ahead, contact me. You'll see information in the description below, and I'll let you know how you can access the entire version. However, if this was successful in helping you clarify some of your concerns with summary, then comment me down below and let me know which part of the video totally helped you. I look like I'm in some North American country only because I'm in a new space for recording, and it's cold. I'm not very good with the cold, but I'm trying to make sure I understand how to fit in this space. So yes, I want to wear all of this clothing right now. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start this particular process. So is it not going to do the thing? Is it doing this thing? It's doing this thing. So I already told you guys welcome. And if you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Ms Chanelle. That's how you spell my name, exactly like that. All right. I consider myself a language success coach. I primarily teach language subjects, CSEC English, CSEC Spanish, and I also dabble slightly unwillingly every year into Cape Comms. I do have a degree in Spanish with linguistics, and it's the linguistics that helps me to understand these language subjects even better, and I believe helps me give better explanations. All right, so I've been teaching over 7 years. It's officially now 8 years since I've been teaching and tutoring, and I make all my videos on CSBS Learning that are freemium. I have a few more things that are coming out in the coming year, and stick around, join the channel, subscribe, and you will learn more of those things in terms of what I like, just in case, just so that you get to know me a little bit. I do love dulce de leche cheesecake. I do love iced coffee. I actually have iced coffee here. This absolutely lovely glass mug. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. That's what I like. It's my little thing I like. In terms of what I don't like, I don't like, or really more, I discourage not being persistent. I discourage not being diligent, and I do encourage my learners to make as many attempts as possible, because at the end of the day, the more attempts you make to improve your work, the better you get. You. Okay. So what we're looking at today is a lot of basic information in terms of summaries. So you want to know what is a summary, right? I know most of you absolutely dislike this question, but we have to know what it is. We have to know our enemy before we defeat our enemy. Not so? Exactly. So what is a summary? A summary is a shortened version of an original text. All right, so you get a text. You should be familiar with this part. You get the text, and you have to work with the shortened version of that text, right? So when you're doing the summary, you're looking at the original text, because the original text has the main points or the key points, right? The main points or the key points that you're going to use for your summary. I can't believe I have a typo here. I apologize. But essentially, you want to ensure that your summary conveys the most important and relevant information from the original article. So essentially, what this means is that when I read your summary, I should feel like I'm reading the original article with less words. That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what you are supposed to achieve and aim for when you are working with summary. So In terms of the format, there really isn't a format. Not format like you would think for letter or report or stuff like that. For letters and reports, it's easier for me to talk about a format. It's very hard for me to talk about a format for summary because you actually have a lot of creativity and leeway in terms of your writing, in terms of what you want to produce. Now, what I can tell you, this is another typo. I apologize. I think I picked up the wrong slides. But in terms of the exam, your summary must not be more than 120 words. I can't deal with it. I'm just gonna have to cross it out. And I'm just gonna put the 120 on top because it's why is he so tiny? Why is he so tiny? Why is he so tiny? Anyway, so it's supposed to be 120 words that you're working with for summary. Don't cross the word limit, okay? Don't cross the word limit. Your 5 main points that you're supposed to write are considered part of your assessment. So your overall response, based on what I can interpret from the syllabus, the entire 25 marks is covered, or the entire 25 marks includes the 5 marks for the main points. 5 marks for the 5 main points, and then 20 marks for the actual summary itself, right? So again, I'm just going through the exam instructions because you should know the instructions for your exams. The instructions for exams helps you to maintain a better chance of getting higher marks. If you don't follow the instructions, really, you can't expect to get really good marks, right? Right. So you have 5 main points and the marks are awarded for these. They must also appear in your summary. You can't write 5 main points and then not mention it in your summary. The summary is based on the 5 main points, please. The word limit, 120 words max. I got it correct here. 120 words max for the summary, all right? Your summary should be written in 1 paragraph. I've encountered students who were paragraphing their summaries. You don't need to do that. It's already just 120 words. And according to the instructions, they actually tell you to just include everything in 1 single paragraph, all right? So no worries about paragraphing in this question for the English A exam at least, right? You must include 5 to 7 main ideas in your summary, including those 5 main points. That's part of the instructions for the exam. It's there in the exam paper. If you look at, I think from 2023 Jan, it's there, okay? Now, I'm gonna go through the steps for summary writing. These are steps that I generally recommend, okay? For the exam, for this exam in particular. So step 1, you wanna read the instructions and identify the topic. You wanna identify what the article is about, right? And step 2, you want to read the title and the source data to help you identify the writer's purpose. If you don't understand what the writer is talking about, you're going to have a hard time with all the other steps. You definitely need to figure out what general topic they're talking about and then identify the writer's purpose. Is the writer for or against a particular concept? Is the writer trying to prove something? Is the writer trying to disprove something? Is the writer trying to encourage someone to do something? Is the writer trying to enlighten us about a particular topic? You need to figure that part out based on what's in the article. Step 3, read the article. The article should be read at least twice. So steps 1 and steps 2 do exist, but you will, by the time you start reading it, you're going to refine purpose and you're going to refine what the topic is. All right, and you should not be just reading the article once. You should be reading it at least twice in order to really cement where you are in terms of this, okay? Then step 4, determine the writer's overall purpose or perspective. So it's gonna sound a little bit like step 2, Because again, for me, if you look at the topic and you look at some of the source information, it does clue you into the writer's purpose. So once you've read the article in step 3, because you actually have to read the article, you should at this point in time have figured out the actual purpose that the writer is trying to achieve, or the actual perspective that the writer is trying to achieve. Then you hit to step 5. Okay, you start to underline or highlight the 7 or 10 sentences which support this purpose. Now, maybe while you're reading, you start to pick out sentences that make sense to you. That's something I generally do. All right, as I'm reading, I start to pull apart stuff. But if it is that summary is really traumatic for you, I recommend that you figure out the purpose, and then you start pulling sentences or identifying sentences. All right. Then we go to step 6. Create 5 main points from the most relevant sentences from step 5, and then write your summary. You're probably thinking, oh, that's what? But you do need to figure out 7 to 10 sentences that, in general, from the passage, that connects to the overall purpose or perspective of the writer. And then you create your main points from those. You create the most important, most relevant, most weighty main points, and those are the ones that are definitely going to convey the sentiment of the article. Remember, I said when I read a summary, it must sound like a mini version of the article, right? And these are the steps that you would go through in order to achieve this.